Hello and welcome to Straight Talk, Supply Chain Insights, the podcast for your supply chain leader who is on the go and wants to be in the know. And now, your host, Lora Cecere.
Welcome to Straight Talk with Supply Chain Insights. My name is Lora Cecere, and I am the founder of Supply Chain Insights. And today I'm honored to have Jonathan Colehower, who is the managing director at UST. And Jonathan and I have known each other, 25 years, Jonathan?
Yep, probably about that long.
We were talking about the grain of America, so I think we're guilty. But, I have a lot of admiration for Jonathan and his work in supply chain management and inventory. And Jonathan, give the group a little bit of a background about yourself and UST, and then let's get into what we've been doing together.
Sure. So as Laura said, we've known each other for quite a while. I've been in supply chain for my entire career, either in management consulting or in the software business. So I started with Accenture, spent about 7 years there. I also was at McKinsey for a while in the operations practice. Most recently, I was the chief marketing officer at Manhattan Associates, where I really had the opportunity to get much deeper into order management and omnichannel and e-commerce and all those other types of things. So thrilled to be able to work with Laura on this project.
So, Jonathan, one of the first times I ever talked to you was about inventory, and we did a recent project on inventory, and we interviewed 12 people who had leadership positions for inventory and then qualitative interviews. And we found that only one of the companies that we interviewed, and they're very big companies, actually knew that they had a good plan and was testing the quality of inventory by form and function. And no one was actually bringing in lead time variation, which was surprising to me. Was that surprising to you?
Yeah, it was. It was, probably I had two primary insights out of the work that we did. One was wanting the business leaders to see inventory as an asset, as a financial instrument that sits on their balance sheet, and truly understand the function that it plays inside the business. And the second was really understanding that full inventory calculation, and not just taking a lead time, for example, but also considering lead time variability. So, for example, if you look at the events that are happening in the Suez Canal right now, if you're a shipper coming out of Asia going to the East Coast, you're probably going to have to consider definitely going to have to consider a longer lead time. I would also encourage companies to consider what's the variability, because just because it's longer, that's one thing, but there's variability along with that.
Well, I was also surprised that people buy planning, they put in planning, but they don't actually look to see if they've got a good inventory plan, and they're not measuring the form and function of inventory. And by form, raw materials, semi-finished goods, finished goods, nor are they looking at the types of inventory: in transit, cycle stock, safety stock, seasonal stock, to ask the question, do they have the right inventory levels by item? And that was surprising to me, that the lack of discipline and, quite frankly, Jonathan, the lack of understanding. It's almost like we put in technology and we expect it to run, and we kind of leave it untethered. And I find it interesting that people don't understand the basics of inventory.
Yeah, I think that we as a generation have become so comfortable with technology. And it's not like your inventory planning system is the same as a procurement or an accounts payable system. You actually have to understand the nuance inside of a planning system if you're going to get those forecasts accurate.
So, UST helps people. When you read this report that's going to publish hopefully in a couple of weeks, and we'll share it on LinkedIn, and I'd encourage everyone to talk to you about it, because I think you're in one of the 10 people I can count on my fingers as the inventory expert. How's UST going to help?
So UST brings a great bit of experience. I mean, we have 6 of the top 10 retailers in the United States as clients. And because of that, we get fairly deep into how they operate, and we work directly with them on their inventory. I want to be able to bring that level of expertise, to a larger audience, and be able to work with them to actually think through their inventory and structure the business problems that they face, and in many cases come up with novel solutions that give them an advantage in the market.
So looking at the quality of form and function of inventory, we talked earlier about turnover of planners and people even understanding those principles, right? So I'm hoping, Jonathan, you can help people that don't really understand how planning is supposed to work to look at, are they really achieving what they need to out of the plan? So any last minute thoughts before we leave today?
Yeah, I guess my last thought would be for managers to not be afraid to dig in and understand the math behind it. It's not voodoo. It really is, and it can be very straightforward for managers to understand and apply to their business. So that's, I think, my big kind of message, and that is, don't be discouraged. You've got a solution. Use it, learn it, and I think you'll benefit from it.
Yeah, I think it's like any math, when we have it programmed, it goes faster, but we've got to understand the inputs and the outputs of the math to be able to use it, right? And I think many people don't know the formula for safety stock or don't really even know how to go about looking at the health of inventory and form and function. So I'm hoping that the report helps, and Jonathan, all the best in trying to help people to get to a better place on inventory.
Thanks, Laura. It's been fun working with you again.
Thank you. Until next time, this is Lora Cecere with Jonathan Colehower talking about inventory and how we make inventory work better for you. Inventory is our biggest source of waste in the supply chain. It's our most important buffer, so getting it right matters. Thank you.